Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Welcome back to my channel and to the new Ion Agora series. First of all, I would like to thank you, each one of you who's joined the channel over the past month. It's wild that we just crossed 10,000 subscribers. In fact, as of this video, almost 11,000. And the growth shows no signs of slowing down. Now, that said, about 68% of you watching still aren't subscribed. So if you're enjoying the content, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, a hype, and maybe leave a comment. It really helps the channel grow. And now, a lot of you have also been asking when I'll start covering more advanced topics. As you can see from the poll on screen, I've got some rather spicy content lined up. But this week, the beginner-friendly topic won by a landslide. Don't worry, we'll get there. And in fact, this December, I'm teaming up with my good friend Jeremiah from Take the Ring, the absolute best channel here on YouTube for all things Twin Peaks and David Lynch. And we will do a deep dive on the Black Lodge and the Abyss. So you don't want to miss that. But now, let's talk honestly. If you're trying to build a consistent spiritual practice in today's world, you are facing a steep climb. Between work, the chaos of modern life, endless scrolling, and the crushing weight of the cost of living crisis, who has time and energy left for anything, let alone magic? And yet, if you are serious about the path of thelema and of magic, you must find that time. And not because someone told you so, but because the work matters, because you matter. Because somewhere inside of you, there is a spark that refuses to go out, even when everything else feels like it's falling apart. Aleister Crowley himself wrote in Magick Without Tears that one of the first essential steps on the path is the dedication of all that one is to the great work, without reservation. That doesn't mean abandoning your life, your job, or your family. It means that within the life you have, you carve out a corner of sacred ground, a few minutes of sacred time where the divine meets the human. Daily. So let's now bring that lofty goal down to earth. What does a solid, yet beginner friendly daily practice look like? How can you actually stick with it? Let's begin with the hard truth. You will need at least 20 to 30 minutes a day. 10 minutes just isn't enough. If you cannot find 20 minutes, then you need to pause and ask yourself whether this is the right time in your life for this, the great work. And that's okay. Be honest. Maybe your kids are tiny or your job is swallowing you whole. Even Crowley didn't expect you to be a martyr to magic. But if you truly cannot carve 20 minutes consistently, maybe give yourself permission to come back to this when your life opens up a little. But often, it's not a lack of time, it's distraction. Your phone is the first thing to go. Not silent, not vibrate, off. Shut down the laptop, turn off the tablet. You might think you will remember the thing you saw online or you just answered the one text. Don't. The work deserves your full presence, and your inner word requires silence to speak. This sacred window you carve out each day, treat it like a ritual container. Guard it like you would any temple place. And while we're at it, let's kill the idea that your practice must be elaborate or aesthetic to be effective. It does not matter if your ritual robe is an old hoodie or if your altar is your nightstand. Magic works when you do it. You don't need temples built in marble. I mean, they are great, they look great, but you don't need them. As I wrote in the Aleister Crowley manual, I offered a very simple yet powerful structure. You pick one time of the day and one space in your home for your practice. It doesn't have to be a dedicated temple. It doesn't have to look like anything on Instagram or Witch Talk. You just need consistency. Train your body and your mind. This room, this time means sacred work. You'll find then that just by walking into that space at that time, it will begin to shift your mind into the right state. And here's a pro tip that goes a long way. Take a quick but intentional shower before you begin, daily if possible. This is more than hygiene, it's about shifting your state, rinsing off the mundane work so you can enter that sacred space. This act then becomes a signal. This is different. This is holy. I know several people with young children who still show up for their practice every day. One of them, my partner's belly dance teacher, trains and teaches with the full force of devotion while raising a family. It's not always about having time, it's about making time and fiercely protecting it. Another crucial bit: choose one practice and stick to it. If you're a beginner, that is the golden rule, and I talked about this in detail in my previous video, 7 things I wish I knew before starting with Magick. Maybe it's Liber Resh and a full ceremonial outfit. Maybe it's just a daily meditation or a breathwork session. But do not jump between systems like a magpie collecting shiny objects. If you're working with a teacher you know to be worthy of your trust, listen to them. Trust their experience. If you don't have a teacher, then pick one system and give it 90 days before reassessing. And some of you will be asking maybe now, why? Why should I do this? Because the real power in Magick is not novelty, but depth, repetition, familiarity. As you return to the same act again and again, you move through the surface and begin to encounter yourself in ways you never expected. You uncover layers, you hit resistance, and then you move past it. Daily practice isn't just about getting better at ritual. It's about transforming your relationship with discipline, willpower, and identity. It's about finding sacredness in repetition. It's about waking up and knowing that no matter how chaotic the day becomes, you grounded yourself first. Now, what happens if you miss a day? Because you will. You will oversleep, you will get sick, maybe you'll fall off the wagon for a week or more. It happens. It happened to me. And here's what you do: just go back to it. No drama, no self flagellation. You have not failed. You only fail when you stop entirely. This is not a competition. And most of all, it's not a sprint. If anything, it's a marathon. It's a test of endurance. No one is grading you, not even the secret chiefs. The only measure of success is this: did I come back? There is a pernicious little voice that shows up when you break your streak that says, see, you couldn't keep up, so what's the point? Trust me when I say that voice is not your holy guardian angel. That is your inner saboteur. The voice that Robert Anton Wilson described as the psychic censor. Recognize it and then move past it. What separates those who succeed into the great work from those who don't isn't intelligence, talent, or fancy tools, albeit all these things play a role. It's persistence. Plain, unglamorous persistence. You get up, you begin again. Every day is a new equinox, a new invocation. Every day is a new chance to choose will. And when life gets very heavy, when you're dealing with illnesses, with poverty, with grief, with burnout, just remember, very few of us will ever get to do a proper magical retirement. We don't live in that world anymore. So be kind to yourself. But at the same time, don't let that kindness become an excuse to give up. Scale down your practice if you must, but don't stop. And in fact, when the word is at its most overwhelming, that's when your practice becomes most vital. Even 5 minutes of breathwork or silent adoration can reconnect with your true will. Your practice is not a luxury, it's your lifeline. Crowley famously prescribed practices like Liberesh 4 times a day. I am a big proponent of those. But for some, that's feasible. For others, that is setting themselves up for failure. What matters then, more than grand gestures, is again daily, honest effort. One sustained practice done with integrity is worth more than 10,000 rituals done in a haste. And most of all, remember, keep a magical diary. Write down your successes and your failures, your resistances and your joys. Because writing creates continuity. It gives your work memory. And over time, it becomes a testament of your journey and of your endurance. And so, to recap, 20 to 30 minutes daily is your minimum. If you can't manage that, you gotta reassess your timing and priorities. Turn off all devices, not silent, off. Choose one time and one place for your practice and anchor it. Take a shower beforehand if possible. It does reset your mind. Pick up one practice and stick to it for several months. You should go deep, not wide. If you miss one day, just resume, no guilt. Be kind to yourself, but don't make excuses. And write everything down. Record your path. Let your journal be your lantern. If you're still watching this, if you're still listening, well, that means that the fire is already lit inside of you. Feed it, tend to it, give it those 30 minutes a day, and you will find the lights up with the rest of your life. There is no perfect day to begin. Only now, today, this hour, this very moment. So, thank you all for watching. And I would like to thank my partner Jessica for helping writing this script. And please remember to like, subscribe, hype the video, and check all my links in the comment section below to support my endeavors. And if you want, you can sign up for all my classes and courses. Do what the willed shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love and the will.